Otti Obi respond to Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence. Welcome to Nigeria Wave TV. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe. Also like and share our stories. Fresh reactions have continued to trail the conviction and life imprisonment of Indigenous People of Biafra leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu following Thursday's judgment by Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu, who was found guilty on multiple terrorism-related charges, has now been transferred from the Department of State Services Detention Center in Abuja to a correctional facility in Sokoto to begin his sentence. Among the most prominent voices responding to the ruling are Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi and the Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti. Governor Otti, in a personally signed statement released on Saturday, 22 November 2025, insisted that the conviction is not the end of the road, assuring the people of Abia State that he has activated and will continue to pursue diplomatic channels aimed at securing Kanu's release. He emphasized that the judgment has left many citizens deeply distressed. He said that without doubt, the development has broken a lot of his people and created an atmosphere of shock and sorrow in Abia and beyond. He recalled that he had consistently advocated dialogue as the most viable path since the 2017 military invasion of Kanu's family home in Nefarauko, Umuahia. He also referenced his earlier writings, including a 2017 article, Operation Python Dance, Killing a Fly with a Sledgehammer, where he condemned the military operations and proposed non-violent solutions. According to Otti, the mishandling of IPOB during its early stages created the larger national challenge faced today. He disclosed that since December 2023, he has been engaging federal authorities on alternative resolution strategies involving political negotiation, though tied to the speedy conclusion of the court process, adding that now that judgment has been delivered, the alternative resolution can begin. Otti confirmed that he had earlier explained these strategies to Kanu during a visit to the DSS facility. While encouraging Kanu to pursue his right to appeal, he stressed that he would continue to push for a political settlement, calling for calm across the southeast. He also cautioned politicians exploiting Kanu's travails for political gain, urging them to prioritize peace and the region's stability. Meanwhile, Peter Obi broke his silence on the conviction today as well, describing Kanu's arrest, prolonged detention, and life sentence as unfortunate and a failure of leadership. In a post on his verified X account, Obi argued that the matter should have been handled through dialogue rather than force. According to the former Anambra governor, the concerns raised by Kanu and many others in the southeast were neither novel nor impossible to address. He said that the concerns required wisdom, empathy, and willingness to listen. He warned that the sentencing could aggravate national tensions at a time when Nigerians are battling harsh economic hardship, insecurity, and loss of confidence in governance. Obi faulted the government's hard-line posture, saying nations around the world adopt political solutions, negotiated settlements, or even amnesty when legal processes cannot guarantee stability, adding that the government's approach has only deepened mistrust and created an unavoidable distraction. Using a metaphor to underline his point, Obi said the handling of Kanu's case resembled a man trapped in a hole who, instead of finding a way out, keeps digging deeper. Obi urged the presidency, the Council of State, and respected elder statesmen to step in and champion reconciliation. He reiterated that peace, justice, and fairness remain essential ingredients for a united Nigeria, insisting that healing, not retaliation, should guide the nation forward. He concluded with a call for optimism, saying he believes that peace and reconciliation will ultimately prevail if Nigeria chooses engagement over hostility. Now, as the debate intensifies, concern continue to rise across the southeast, where many see Kanu's sentencing as a turning point, one that could either deepen grievances or open the door to meaningful national dialogue, depending on how the federal government responds in the coming days. The strong reaction from Abia State Governor Alex Otti and former presidential candidate Peter Obi following the life imprisonment of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu criticized the federal government's handling of the case and warned that the conviction could heighten tension, especially in the southeast. Otti adopts a diplomatic tone, reassuring Abians that efforts are underway to pursue Kanu's release through high-level dialogue and political negotiation. He stresses that the conviction is not the end of the matter to avoid actions that could destabilize the region. Obi takes a broader national approach, framing the conviction as a failure of leadership and arguing that Kanu's grievances should have been addressed through dialogue and inclusive governance, not force. He warns that the judgment may aggravate national distrust at a time of economic hardship and insecurity. Legally, Kanu's conviction underscores the federal government's court's strict application of anti-terrorism laws. However, the opportunity for appeal remains, and political leaders stress that legal enforcement alone may not resolve underlying grievances. The case highlights the tension between the rule of law and conflict management in politically sensitive cases. The reactions of Obi and Otti frame Kanu's conviction as potential test for national cohesion. They argue that addressing IPOB issue through dialogue, empathy, and inclusive governance would strengthen unity, while relying solely on imprisonment risks deepening mistrust between the Southeast and the federal government. In all, a growing political pressure is on the federal government to adopt a political, not purely legal solution. In all, there is a growing political pressure on the federal government to adopt a political, not purely legal solution, while highlighting fears of renewed tension in an already fragile security environment.